Also looking forward to the return to the coaching box
Ooh,
for
it's going to be big
this weekend. He's jumped on the line, the Carlton coach, and he joins us on this Friday morning. Daniel Harford, good morning.
Oh, the Mays and Macca show. Don't I love it?
Your seat is actually quite comfortable.
He's loving
here,
it,
Harf.
Half. He's got all his books and that over there. He's taken over completely. Loves the window.
I'm bringing in a new chair on Monday. I'm not accepting that. A new chair for a new year and get rid of that Mays sort of stench.
The Mays haze. It's already over there. At the
The
moment.
Mays haze.
Not bad.
Very good.
Not bad, Macca. Now, Harf, how are you feeling a couple of days out before returning to the coach's box? Are you ready?
Well, I'm a little bit stressed at the moment because I'm doing the school run and traffic is a nightmare getting into the first day of school today.
When was the last time you did a school run with these hours?
Oh, no, well, the morning school run, no, unusual.
Yeah.
Unusual. I haven't done one for a while, must be said. So this is the first day of school for my little man, William, and there is pandemonium around the school grounds at the moment.
Right, there you go. So are you nervous? Are you nervous about the weekend?
I'm really excited. I'm not nervous, Maisie. I'm really excited. I just want to see the girls get out there and have a crack now. We've been training for a couple of months, with months of planning before that, and finally we get to a stage where they get a chance to go out there and play for points and get something really tangible on the line for their efforts. So I'm really excited about that. I'm not nervous yet. I think I will be on the weekend, but not yet.
Half, we keep hearing about your revolutionary game plan, the free-flowing style of play. The club averaged 3 goals a game last year. What can you give us a figure? We love a figure. What are you looking to average this year?
Oh, more than 3.
And tell us about the pressure as well. The pressure of the AFL saying, we want you to play attractive football.
Yeah, it's not so much. That's the interesting point, I reckon, because they certainly do want to see the game flourish. I think anyone who's involved in the game wants to see it flourish and really succeed. And to do that, you've got to play a brand of footy that's entertaining because, as we all know, there's so much out there for people to engage in terms of their sporting interest these days, and the coverage of all sports is increased. So it's hard to sort of find your place in the scheme of things if you're not entertaining. So we're pretty aware of that as the coaching group for the AFLW clubs. But at the same time, I think anyone that's ever played or coached footy wants to play that sort of brand anyway. They want to play good footy. They want to play a game where it's exciting and people get really engaged and emotional about the contest and being a part of it. So that's really a change from the coach's perspective. It's more about just being able to put it into place and get it in action when the siren goes. So yeah, we're really aware of the need to make it a really entertaining product, but at the same time, I think winning's pretty entertaining too. So it's a bit of a balance, Macca, I reckon.
Brianna Davey, a good story, returning to the club or returning to the side after doing her knee last year. Half. How hard is it for these women who aren't full-time athletes to overcome such big injuries like that? And what have you learned about her over the last sort of 12 to 15 weeks of training?
Yeah, well, look, having her back is a huge result for us because not only is she a fabulous player, but she's a terrific leader, and she really does have a great aura about her at the footy club and around the girls. So you just say good day, Wilbur. Have a good day, buddy.
It's his first day. You can say a bit more than that.
Give him a bit of instructions or something.
It's not as if it's his first day of school. It's just his first day of the new year. You'll be right. Kiss and drop them off. That's what you do. But back to Brie. But I think in the end, whilst it certainly isn't something anyone wanted to see happen, she grew enormously as a leader of the group last year, having to develop her interaction skills and ability to integrate into the group outside of being a player. So I think she had a really beneficial development year last year after being injured, and that was through the VFL season as well. She was one of our line coaches in the VFLW team through the season, which she probably wouldn't have been had she had her knee sound and safe and sound and ready to play. So there's a lot going on last year for Brie, but she's a super impressive young woman. I know she's an enormous talent, clearly from a football perspective, but the cachet she carries with the group is really important for us going forward because she's that one that everyone looks up to. And lot of footy clubs around the world have figureheads, and she's certainly that for us. So without her, it would have been a very, very different story. But she's back in, and I'm really excited about it. We're going to play her in a new role up forward, which I think will suit us down to the ground, and hopefully suits her down to the ground, and see what happens as a result of that.
I've been struggling in here this morning to name a Gold Coast Suns back line, but your forward line's looking absolutely outstanding there. Darcy Vecchio, she was fantastic in that first season, Darcy. Had a difficult one last year. What are you expecting for Darcy this year?
I think with opportunity in her area, Darcy is one of the most, if not the most damaging forward in AFLW, I reckon. She's a terrific athlete. I probably underestimated her athleticism and her ability to get a lot of work in from a training perspective and her capabilities in that regard. I underestimated that for her. She's done nothing but impress me with the way she's got through the program, her ability to catch on to new ideas, her football intellect. She'll be a beauty. But as you say, Macca, last year, when you average 3 goals a game, you're not getting a lot of forward 50 entries.
Yeah, that's true.
So we need to find a way to get the ball in there more often to give players like Darcy a chance to showcase their skills, because she has plenty of them. Don't you worry about that.
Now, we know how big opposition analysis is in AFL. What do you do in terms of AFLW and looking at an opposition, especially when they haven't played a game before? You've got the Kangas on Sunday down in Hobart. So is that a bit of an unknown in terms of what they'll be?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. They are, when you look at their lineup, and it's pretty daunting, I must admit. I mean, because there's players clubs through the competition that have got established players and have been around for a couple of years, but North Melbourne have got established stars.
Yeah.
through women's footy in the AFLW.
How do they do this?
Well, I don't know the mechanics of it. I'm not sure.
Yes, you do.
Oh, no, I actually
don't. Do they break any rules, or?
Well, Kenny would have been all over that if they did.
Would have.
I doubt that's happened. There's some good people running the North Melbourne Footy Club, so I doubt that's happened. Darren, who knows? So it's a really daunting list, but as we all know, you've got to be able to have great chemistry. Great teams have great chemistry, and I don't think they've had the time yet to produce that. So whether or not class will prevail for them, or whether or not we can gain an edge with the girls that have been together for us for a long period of time and the plan we've got in place, I'm not sure. It's actually interesting talking about forecasting anything in the AFLW. It's like the AFL, really. I mean, you have some sort of idea in the AFL because there's more of a body of work. But in the AFLW, you've got a third of your list has to be turned over every year. So all of a sudden, your 10 or your 30 are brand new, regardless of what you keep. And then so much can change so quickly in terms of development of the players, because there's obviously more investment going in every year. There's better training methods. There's better strength and conditioning methods. So they become really different athletes in a very short period of time. So the chance for a lot of change can happen really, really quickly. So I have no idea what's going to happen Sunday from North Melbourne's perspective. I have some idea of what to expect from our girls. But again, until we do it under pressure, I think we're all in the dark a little bit.
Now, just one last one before we let you go, Daniel. Glenn McFarlane, expert tipster in AFLW in the Herald Sun this morning, has tipped North Melbourne by 1 point.
I deliberately did that half because I knew we were speaking to you today. So
what is
just to keep you hungry and focused on the day before the game.
So let me get this straight, Macca. You've tipped the Kangaroos because you were talking to me. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. I thought we'd just fire you up. No, I've looked at the Kangaroos. They can win the flag this year, half. They can win it.
Well, so can the Blues.
You seem to be dismissing the Blues.
No, the Blues can win it as well. They just got to kick more than that 3 goals. Just got to kick more than that 3 goals, and I reckon Darcy's going to be the one to do it.
Well, hang on, we kicked 3 more goals than Kangas last year every week.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I didn't take that into consideration with my. I did spend about an hour or so on those tips yesterday. And I've got to say, tipping's not my go.
All righty. There we go.
Tipping's difficult. Tipping is difficult at the start of any season, let alone a league in a competition that's 3 years in, or it's starting its 3rd year. It's a very difficult proposition. So I wish you the best luck with your tipping, Macca. I hope you get 4 on the weekend.
I'll take that. 4 would be a good result for me, and we're wishing you all the best, half. We reckon you could be holding that cup up at the end of the year.
Mackin can get stuffed. He's tipping North Melbourne, so he's not on board. I'm on board. I'm on board here.
You're
Half.
bound by blue.
I'm bound by blue, so we're all on board the half train this year and the Blues, and hopefully they can get their season off to a winning start. Half, we'll see you on Monday morning, bright and early. Good luck with that alarm.
4 points in the bank.
Good on you, Half.